Hello! Well, I got a couple of lights here that I've been using on my independent filmmaking and documentary type things and YouTube channels and whatnot. And I thought I'd talk about them. I just picked these ones up here, so I'll talk about those in a moment. These are ones I already did a review on this particular one here. It's the best light. It's the model PT176S, and it runs on a battery. And these are the typical kind of Sony batteries they used to use back in the day, and you can get them relatively inexpensive. And then it's dimmable, so it starts off at 50. You can go down to 10, and go up to 99, and it gets to be a pretty bright light. I mean, you can look right there, and I'm at, so here it is, what, 10, and if I just keep going up, I mean, it's like, you know, you can start seeing spots. And one thing I like about these a lot, they're really small. You can get these pretty inexpensive light stands, and they're really light. And this weighs almost nothing. I mean, maybe a pound, maybe a pound and a half. So I thought, well, let me try. I'm enjoying these lights a great deal. So I got two of these lights here, and these are the Neewer. It's a Neewer brand, and I'll read it from the other side of it. The Neewer model JY LED 500S, and it also has it where you can put batteries on it, and it does have it where you can put a power cable on it. Now, this same power cable will actually work on this one as well. I'll turn this light on here to give me a little bit more separation and definition and whatnot. And the one thing about these ones here, I have these little gels that I can change from 56 to 3200. Here, there's actually a dial, and I'll turn off and now you can see this side getting yellow, and you can combine it. So there's, you can see that, and that's kind of mixed together. So you don't know for sure exactly the color temperature, but you can match it to whatever you have or whatever place you had. The one thing is these are not near as bright. So from the same distance, roughly, you can kind of see that. Here, I'll turn that off, and I'll turn this one off. You can kind of see the distance, the difference. So that's where this is at full capacity on one side, and just for fun, I'll throw it both. So this is that's the max light coming from this. All right. So here, in comparison, so remember that. Here, from comparison, let me start that at 10. So here's 10, and we'll just kind of go up. So here it is at 100, and I can definitely see a big difference on there. So these are actually a lot brighter than these ones here. Now, there's, you know, a bigger source, so it is a little bit potentially softer, of course, because of that. So, and it's not a bad light. These two, I got two of them together, and there's something about, they're like $80 a light, $60 a light, something like that, depending. Comes with a stand. These stands are a lot more sturdy because this is a little bit more heavy of a light comparison to the other one, and it's got a lot of nice little metal aspects of it. It's a really, you know, it's really nice in a lot of ways. You have two batteries on it. Here, put that on there. You can have two batteries on here. Of course, you can use the power supply that it comes with. And it doesn't. This particular model didn't come with that. It has a. You can take make it softer with this little thing very easily, and then you just kind of clip it on. And so it's put together reasonably well. I think you'd get some decent life out of it. It's not as bright as I was hoping. I was hoping that it'd be even brighter than this one here, but it's not. And so, you know, these here go for $18 just for the light by itself, no battery, and in a stand you can get for like $10. And of course you're going to need either a battery. But the nice thing is, like I mentioned before, these ones here, I can power it with this with that power. So basically, there's from anything from 5 volts to 17 volts can power these. And so, like, you get some old devices that you use, like an old, even like an old answering machine potentially, or whatever that fits in there that's somewhere between 5 volts and 17 volts. You can power these. Obviously, this is a little bit more cheaply designed in some ways than these ones here. These would be great, I think, if you had a YouTube setup, like in your house, like a green screen or something like that. It's something they did as a movie, and you kind of just leave them there as studio lights. They don't get hot, so that's the nice thing about all these. They don't get hot, and you can stem these up a little bit more in some ways. I think it. Well, you can't see it because it's out of frame there, but you know, if you want to kind of, you know, hide your shadows a little bit, you can do that. So for, you know, combinations of lights, and these seem to blend pretty well together. Supposedly these are balanced. What is it? It's the 94, 96, something like that. I forgot exactly what it is altogether. These necessarily aren't balanced, but the one thing that if you buy your own LED lights that you use at the house, you get a flicker. These you won't flicker when you're using these on video, so because they're balanced. And so for $18, I think this is still the clear winner for me, especially because 3 of these carrying around almost equals the weight. Well, not quite, but almost equals the weight of one of these here. And however, it is nice to be able to take out lights, use them outside at night without a generator. They don't put any heat off, so your talent's not going to get all you know, sweaty and everything. So I think the nice options that you have now is that you actually get some options that doesn't cost a whole lot in comparison to what you had before. And these are a lot more, you know, these are a lot more lighter, a lot more portable than you've ever had before. So you can see, I almost bought 3, but I thought, you know, 2-pack's good enough because I got like 4 of these other lights here. So together with these 6 lights I have now, I should be able to light almost anything I need to light indoor, and if I'm really crafty, a lot of things outside as well. Especially if I can use a available light, like a street light or something like that. So you know, basically recommendations. I would get either one of these if you're low on funds. This is the winner right here. They used to have these as a 3-pack for 70 or 80 bucks. I haven't seen them on eBay like that anymore, but you can definitely still get these here. And these ones here are, you know, the 2-pack, $160 for sure. If you pay $200, I think you get some of the batteries and chargers along with it. So you got some good options. And you know, one thing about when you do filmmaking, you paint with light. You basically are painting with light. So depending on what you're doing, so you know, just kind of, here I am changing things up a little bit like that. Look at that. And there we go. And kind of combine some together. So if I put both of the lights together, you know, you got kind of a combination of the 32, 50, 56. So anyways, so some fun things to play around. I'm very happy today we actually have these options. And you can see that you can see these two panels when I turn off one. Well, maybe you can, maybe you can't. So they're you know, basically there's 2 lights on every other one. Be cool if they, and I guess they probably do have these that you can use the same LED for that. But for my purposes, I'm going to get a lot of good use out of these lights, especially for making YouTube content and making short films and even a feature film I could use these on. So as always, rock and roll, and of course it does compute. And by the way, if you love feature films, especially a film that I made and wrote, it's called The Rise of the Robots. Go to www.therobotfilm.com. That film completely computes all over the place. And I wish I had these lights back then because it would have made life a lot easier, especially some of the night shoots to have portable lights. As always, rock and roll and compute that. Yeah.